Greg hasn't come out of the blocks particularly well in any of these matches so far this week. Today, no exception. No matter how fit he is, no matter how much work he's done off court, 10 sets, playing your third best of 5 set match in 5 days, has got to take something out of you.
It hasn't really had a pop at a serve yet, rusedski. The fastest one he's hit so far is 122, which for him is almost like a milk float.
We didn't see it, but that's the serve I like from rusedski, the big high kicker. Very difficult to deal with.
Game, Rusedski.
It's better games from rusedski. Hold to 15.
Siemerink leads 4-3.
Siemerink, though, has to break at 4-3.
Both teams have French World Cup.
Time.
Well, rusedski, within the next couple of Siemerink service games, has to find some way of making more effective returns than he has been doing, giving himself a chance of breaking back. Having said that, it is this match over 5 sets, so the drop of the first set is not deadly. Certainly he'd want to, if he does lose his first set, to at least the knowledge that he's had a couple of chances, a couple of break points, and Siemerink hasn't held his serve right the way through comfortably, as he's been doing so far.
You can just see that camera shot there. Greg does wait for the serve with just a hint of a backhand grip. So he's got to almost expect that Siemerink's going to go there and wait for it. Should always be looking for that serve, and if it goes to the forehand, make the adjustment on the forehand side, but expect the backhand. It's almost like looking for a pitch in baseball.
That's a couple of bad volleys from Siemerink. Yeah, picking up on that point, Wally, most players will stand with the grip of the side that they least favour. So that if it does come to their stronger side, they feel that they're slightly more flexible in hitting the shot with maybe not a perfect grip. I always used to wait with a forehand grip because my forehand was much weaker than my backhand. Of course, you didn't have a weak side, did you, Wally?
No, I was the same as you. I would stand there with a forehand grip. That was a nice chip. Second one he's played up there, but you do have to try to cover up your weaknesses in this game. And Greg, very wisely, he's a good match player. He's down a break, but he's made Siemerink play twice. Siemerink's missed 2 volleys, and then good enough there just to float that chip inches from the line. We talk about all his other attributes, but Greg Rusedski is a great match player.
15-14.
One thing we noticed when he played Ularak at one stage there, he was 1 for 16 on break points. And at this level of tennis, goes without saying, you've got to take your opportunities. So he doesn't want to get in a habit of squandering these break points. He wants to, if at all possible, take one early, get confident.
Slow moving to that one, rusedski. You're right, Wally, that's an area that he knows he's got to pick up on. He's, through all of his matches so far, Rusedski, he's had 28 break points. He's only converted 7 of them.
Don't you think that to get to a break point, he plays a certain way, but he doesn't take enough chances on the break point. He almost plays not to lose them.
That's well done.
Game, Rusedski.
Well, that was important.
4-all.
In the end, it was Siemerink that let himself down there with 3 unforced errors on the volley. But I sometimes think Greg, he just gets a bit careful on the return. I'd like to see him, particularly at love 40, for example, take a cut at the first one at least.
Love. 30 love.
That's where Siemerink can be nasty to play, because he has that flexibility, the ability to turn this into an attacking shot. Look at that lovely feel. Rusedski very short of options on that shot.
Good feel on that backhand, as you said, and did you notice the way he was moving in behind it? He's a lot like Edberg in that he creates opportunities with his movement.
40-15.
Edberg was a great player. After every ball he moved so well, he almost made you hit to certain spots in the court with his movement, and Siemerink a little along those lines.
Game, Rusedski. Rusedski leads 5-4.
Well, the boy's done well. He's broken back, and we're back on serve. Rusedski 5-4. How fit we feel Rusedski is. And I personally feel that he's in very, very good shape. He spent a lot of time in the gym when he had his ankle injury. And also as well, I feel that how you feel on court is very much related to your mental state, and Rusedski, as we know, is very strong mentally. If you think you feel tired, then you will feel tired. Rusedski won't even contemplate whether he's tired or not. So Siemerink serving now to stay in the first set at 4-5.
Love 15.
Well, Siemerink just shaking his head, but it was a nice low return. Gave Rusedski a little bit of time there to set for the backhand, hit it well down the line. See, they're the type of returns that you don't really want to see up high. Siemerink made that look easy, but you could see as he played it, his back was virtually to the net. Still managed to get a lot of power.
30-15.
That's the one. Greg almost seemed surprised that it was at the backhand. Now, you'd think at this stage of the match, it's 4-5, 15 all, that maybe he's really got to be sitting on it, just sitting on it. The guy goes to the forehand, well, then you improvise.
30 all.
And that's pretty much what he did there. Swung away to his forehand. Greg just chipped it low. Siemerink he seems to like the ball hit at him on return. When Greg has chipped it low with no pace, he hasn't volleyed nearly as well. A number of unforced errors.
30-40.
Well, the volleying of Siemerink's deserted him. It really has. He's dumping some very, very basic volleys for a man that's 21 in the world. And from nowhere, really, rusedski has a set point.
Game. First set, rusedski, 6-4.
Well, you were waiting for that, weren't you, when he threw the ball up and caught it. Bit of nerves. Siemerink's first double fault. And rusedski takes the opening set in 32 minutes.
Thank you.
Well, if I didn't see it, I wouldn't have believed it. At 4-3, Siemerink was serving. He looked pretty comfortable. And he has just played 3 horrendous games, you'd have to say, particularly on serve. Just dumping volleys, a lot of unforced errors. rusedski smart enough to realise that he was struggling, just keeping the ball back in play.
People
You
just
sit down at the back
walking
of the court, thank you.
behind the back of rusedski. He's trying to pull a fast one, rusedski, saying he wants 2 serves because he was just about to start his motion. Good effort there, Greg. I don't think the umpire's going to swallow that one.
15 love.
Well, I don't know, Chris. I mean, I think he had a bit of a point. Greg said if he does it again, I'm having 2 serves, and it's a little unfair if you've played a first serve and then the guy starts to orchestrate the crowd in between your first and second serve. I think he's got a point.
Yeah, but he hadn't started his motion, had he?
Yeah, but I still think it's unfair to have a delay, any sort of delay.
Love.
Well, at this point, you'd have to say Jan is just having a shocker. He's almost struggling to put bat on ball at this minute.
Well, those tooting noises you're hearing was one of the trains nearby. This slam, I think, Wally, out of all of them, is probably one of the most inhospitable ones to play on. To play during noise everywhere, aeroplanes, trains.
30 all.
Well, I reckon a day like today at the US Open is the hardest day to play. This light, swirling breeze, heavy at times. The Australian Open seems to throw up the heat. Unbearable days, 41 degrees, well, they're no fun. Wimbledon throws a bit of drizzle at you from time to time where you're on and off the court. That's always difficult to deal with. And at the US Open, these are the days I think are very difficult. Just a swirling breeze, you lose rhythm, you lose confidence. And we've seen it here in the first set of this match. Players miss balls that you just can't imagine how they do. And a lot of it, you just have to attribute it to the fact that they're just not totally comfortable with their timing out there. The ball's never quite where they think it is to hit.
Advantage Siemerink.
This match not really being grasped by anybody at the moment. Patches of good play from rusedski and patches of bad play, and same for Siemerink. Great point for the Dutchman. So first blood in the second set is drawn by Jan Siemerink, 1-love. He leads. First set, rusedski.